All right, can we have everyone stand for the pledge as the land development?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Salamanca City Central School District acknowledges the homeland of the Anandawakta, the people of the Great Hill, the Seneca people on whose ancestral and modern day land Salamanca School District now stands and whose water we enjoy. We stand with all Indigenous peoples in their resolve to remain connected to their land. While we cannot undo what has been done, it is the goal of the Salamanca City Central School District to recognize the history and make improvements that will benefit the next 7 generations of Indigenous students.
Yep. All right. All right, Board President Teresa Ray is out of town and unable to attend the meeting tonight, so you're all stuck with me again. So we'll start off with approving the agenda. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
We do. We have just a couple. We added 4C, which is a conference for Mrs. Beaver to attend Ignite Reading Convention. Under 7A, we were a couple personnel changes. We removed Tammy Davies, confidential secretary, as she declined the offer after this was initially put out on Thursday. We removed the student teacher section as she changed her major. And we added Margaret Tingley as confidential secretary to replace the Tammy Davies who declined the offer.
So can I have a motion to approve the amended agenda? Motion by Dale. Second. Who's that? Second by Ted. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? All right, motion carried. Okay, communications. Do we have any public communication or Title VI Parent Advisory Committee?
Mr. Miller acknowledged that he was not able to attend tonight and that he did not have any updates for the Title VI or parents.
No public. No public? All right, moving right along. Central office message. Who's going first?
I'll go first. We're off to a great start of the school year. September is flying by. We had an amazing start. We had our first round with ExactPath, our new testing diagnostic across the district in grades K through 10. Great success with that. We're really happy with the reports that we're getting from the platform. We're able to really take the diagnostic results and drill deep into our students' needs. We're going over those with grade level teams and admin meetings as well. And we're also celebrating our successes while identifying areas of need. September 15th, we celebrated International Dot Day. So our students were recognized for their individuality and making their mark on the world. And if you haven't had a chance to look on Facebook, Dr. Beal will read you the story if you're not familiar with it. September 16th, we recognized our tech department. And September 18th, we recognized our security department. And I just want to say thank you. Those are 2 departments that sometimes get overlooked, but they are essential to the work that we do. So thank you to them. Keep up the great work, everybody.
Thank you. Karen.
I got a couple things actually. We had a great CJS program over the summer. We had 17 students be able to work in different areas of the district, and we'll be applying for that again. Sandy Brothers, our grants administrator, will be presenting on that in upcoming board agenda. Cafeteria, we received a fresh fruit and vegetable program. So pre-K to 6 get either fresh fruits or vegetables twice a week as an afternoon snack. And so we received $43,800 in order to do that. We had a super successful summer program. We served 6,130 meals in the 24 days that we were open. So it's about 256 meals a day, which is very, very cool. Lunchtime saw a 38% increase over last year, and breakfast was brand new. So we served 2,588 meals for breakfast. With the lunch, Prospect saw the largest increase with a 73% increase, and high school and Seneca increased 20%. And as you saw, Rich had his buildings all spick and span for opening days, and as Mark had indicated, transportation didn't lose anybody, so school started off great.
That's it.
And one little last tidbit is our food truck that's being wrapped.
Awesome.
Stay tuned. That's all I got.
Send pictures.
Janet, do you have anything for us?
I do not, but thank you for asking.
All right. Well, let's see here. Who do I want to call on? Who wasn't here last time? Who missed the board? There you go. You're first tonight, Janet.
I always like to take an opportunity, especially early in the school year, to thank all of our departments. It is always chaotic and hectic early on, but this year I've been very proud to be a part of some of our events. Obviously, most of them are athletic events, but they're moving through with ease. And transportation, we've been on point for most of our trips, and just those little details for an athletic director mean a lot. So I appreciate everybody, including, you know, the board here who helped provide us with a beautiful facility that is now open. And we're getting great response for our soccer events and things that are going on back there, including tennis, where we're still recruiting for more tennis players. We have beautiful courts out there, but everything's coming together well. And that's just a real sense of pride for us. So I appreciate that. And the other thing is just, it's hard to believe that we're already through homecoming week and that we're moving quickly. It's hard to believe. In terms of athletics, we started on the 18th of August. So it already feels like we're moving forward. So homecoming week this week, we've got a lot of activities going on. We're trying to promote school spirit by getting our teams to go to different teams events, swim and volleyball, soccer, and things like that. So across the board, pretty good start, great weather. So other than last night, so everything's been good.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Who else wasn't here last time? Mr. Haley, what do you got for us?
Well, we had a good start so far. We have a new cook that's in the high school Seneca kitchen. She was a food service helper. She's been doing a great job. We've got a really good team now. We're still one short. We should be filling that position this week. We have a new boy starting tomorrow, actually. So we're excited about that. Garden is wrapping up. Bert Pinkowski did a great job this summer with our garden program. If you haven't seen it yet, right by it's down on the corner of Mountain Farm and Mountain Farm. Right on my streets up there. So, yeah, just thanks again to Burton. Again, he was out there watering a lot this summer. Big guy filled in for him a couple times when he was there. Today he's not here. I was digging the compost. That's a lot of work. So he does a good job. Other than that, yeah, we're moving on.
How many meals have you served so far?
Oh, geez. That's a lot. I don't know offhand, but I can use it.
Oh, I was just asking, because Karen had a number for some, so. All right, who else wasn't at the last board meeting? Huh? All right, well, let's go down the world of
Transportation started off really well. We have a great staff down there and they do a phenomenal job every day. And I'm grateful that they're there to help us get through what we need to get through. We're diligently looking for more employees. I have a few that I spoke to that are probably going to come on board and start with one with the training program. The other is a shuttle driver. So we're gaining ground, but we lose just as much when we gain.
How many positions do we have for bus drivers?
Well, let's see, we have 25 in-district runs. We have out of district is van runs and some small bus runs. Exact. What's happening? If I can get it, just right at the top of my head, I can't tell the exact. We're short drivers. We have one young lady that was expecting and she's way early and she's now at the hospital. So she's out with the gentleman who's with her, and we have another gentleman, his wife had a baby, he's off. So we're even shorter, but staff is stepping up and making it happen.
So we started the year a few short.
A few short, at least 4. If the district needs to get to a 1 start time, we're probably 9 short. For both areas, Prospect and here. If they want to dismiss and start at the same time, we need 1%.
Thank you.
Gary, to answer your question to John, through the 17th of September, they served 16,265 meals
Already?
already.
Wow. That's amazing. All right, thank you for that. Yeah. All right, who else was in that last group meeting?
I was there.
Were you?
I'll
All
try.
right, what do you got for us, Ms. Kosky?
You know, I just, like Karen said about my staff and the cleaning, I just want to give a thumbs up or a thank you to all of them. I haven't been able to get them together enough to tell them they did a great job in summer. They did a super job. Everything that was done, taken care of. Hallways, I love it when the hallways shine. I don't want to make them slippery, but I want them to shine. You know, we got tons of things going on with the project construction. I don't know if you guys have heard much what Marcus told you, but we're getting things ready there. Well, things are coming together a little bit. I hope very soon, we'll see some real final drawings and things like that. So I like that. Prospect's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, I think, still, but it's coming together well. Our new bus garage, I can't wait. I don't know, we get that yet? We're still waiting for the land.
Oh, we're close. Very, very, very close.
That, we just purchased a new blower this week. It's a drivable blower that we use for the track, for Vets Park, for leaves, and it's almost like something you see in NASCAR. Okay, and my guys tell me it does a wonderful job. I haven't even been able to see that yet. It came yesterday when I was off, and today I didn't get over it. But today Derek said it's just amazing what that thing does. And I'd like you guys to see that sometime. If I have to get it out here and let you see, but yeah, it's pretty awesome. So it just blows everything, just cleans it right off. It's the needles and whatever else. But it's a drive, self-propelled. It's self-propelled, but it looks like something you see in NASCAR almost. Yeah.
I'm picturing jet engine.
Yeah, it's very much like that. It looks like just a big Kohler, 26-foot Kohler motor, but it sounds and looks just like that. So, yeah, it's really cool. But other than that, no, we're just going, great guns with everything. So I'm really proud of my staff.
Awesome. All right, let's hear from the principals. Who wants to go first?
I'll jump in.
Hey,
So,
there you go.
update, so since the first bell ring, students have just been outstanding. I think everyone was a little on edge with the new phone policy and, law through New York State. Our students have, for the most part, complied. Staff has done a great job of keeping students aware of it, and the communication is out there, so parents are tuned in. Please make sure your students remember to put their phones in the lockers. Been doing a great job so far. As stated, it's Spirit Week. The student body's just been phenomenal in celebrating Spirit Week. From the various days, when you leave here, you'll see some of the hallways being decorated. That's incredible. Proud to announce that several of our juniors and seniors been accepted into a county government internship program. Occurs once a week on Wednesdays, where they get to dabble and get some experience as to what the happenings within our county government. And that was a big part of throw some kudos out to Ms. McGarry and Ms. Beaver for helping find that funding and make that happen for our students. It's in true warrior fashion. Academically, I'll touch on 2 areas. We're off to a strong start. Students, not being one of the areas, but in general, have been in class on time and following expectations. Talk daily about making an impact on their education, investing in what we offer here. Science department, diving into next gen standards and exploring ways to help students, deepen their learning. And I'm just going to take a minute. We have a staff later on the agenda, but I think just when you bring this positive atmosphere and attitude to something, it should be recognized. We got an email earlier from Mrs. Kelly Grabowski, who's joining us next week. If I can just read it quickly, I'd love to do that because it throws kudos to a lot of people. It needs to be done.
By all means.
Each one of my secondary science collaborative learning community workshops kicks off with a round of teachers sharing successes and hopes. This past week, I asked for a volunteer to start us off, and Robbie Frazier enthusiastically was the first teacher to raise his hand. their spirit right there, come up. He was excited to share with the group that his students were fluent in the science practices, a significant portion of the newest rendition of the New York State Science Learning Standards. Before we were all able to congratulate him, he wanted to be sure we understood this wasn't his doing, but his colleagues that taught the students before they entered his class. Jenna Hendricks, 8th grade science, and Emma Maxon, 7th grade science. I'm writing this message to you, so she wrote it to a body here, from her perspective, her current position, to let us know that we have some excellent teachers in our science department doing great work, making each other proud, ambitious, and supporting one another. And this person's joining our team. I'm just ecstatic about it. I think we're gonna see some movement in science. We've been looking for it, and it's gonna be coming, so stay tuned there. Our math department over the summer worked very hard to discuss opening up math labs, which is a continuation of the class, to give students more practice time. They're up and running, and I'm also expecting to see some movement there, which is brings me a smile on my face. So we'll rest there, and then just grateful to see what's up and coming for the school year. Very excited. So, thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Who wants to go next? Principals? All right, Ed, you're up.
Okay, well, a highlight that we could talk about that occurred recently was last week Thursday. We held our first Title I meeting. It was an overview of Title I, what ESSA and the ESSA legislation, its requirements and parent engagement. We did some training in Power School, Power Hub, and Schoology for the parents. Attendance was limited, I have to say, but we were in competition with the volleyball game and the Center for Youth Advancers. We also had discussions on activities that will be taking place. We have it until June. So every single month, we will have a parental involvement activity that has training for the parents. We would like to involve as many students as possible, because when we get students involved, then the parents will show up. So we talked about having a poetry jam, a math extravaganza. Our next event will be during open house, which will be put on by our social studies team. So the plan has an activity for the third Thursday of every month from 5 to 6:30. Very, very soon, you will see that part of that discussion was our parental involvement policy and the parent contract that are both requirements under the ESSA legislation. Those will be posted to our website. The parents will be able to view, give us some feedback. Once we have all that feedback, then we will be presenting it to you for adoption.
Thank you. Who's next? Principals?
We'll go like that. It's hard to believe that we are getting we're almost completed with our 4th week of school. Really just the first few weeks have been about opening school and making sure that we're really solid on our common culture and routines and expectations. We started with the code of conduct assembly the very first week of school, and we've made sure, Mrs. Butler and myself, we do our morning announcements every day, making sure to weave in, continuously weave in those routines and expectations, as well as the character trait of the month, and making sure students recognize that. As Mrs. Beaver mentioned, we recently had Dot Day. So as you're walking through Seneca Intermediate, you'll begin to see our big dot take shape right outside the multi-purpose room on how students are going to make their mark on the world. Our school is full of student teachers and interns this semester, which is really awesome to see all the new up-and-coming educators that are joining the field, and it's awesome to have an amazing staff that receives them with open arms and shares their knowledge. And then we also have our EDEP starting. Hopefully within the next week or so, flyers should be going home to families this week. We have an awesome variety of extracurriculars, math exploration, power hour, coding, Dungeons and Dragons, pretty much you name it, there's something for everybody. So we're looking forward to have students staying after for that. And we've also started our drama club. So Into the Woods Junior will be our Seneca Intermediate play that's taking place in November. So we're excited to see that. There's a huge turnout for auditions. So it's definitely growing every single year. And finally, I just want to thank all the departments, Rich, your team for the amazing work in building human resources. We've had an extra abundance of substitutes this year, which is always a struggle. So it's been really nice to see some new faces in the building this year.
And another thank you to Mr. Haley here because the cafeteria is amazing. We've been working really hard with the monitors and just tightening up the systems in the cafeteria. We have an amazing salad bar now that everyone loves, even the staff, so thank you for that. Come down and check it out for lunch sometime. We also had just recently finished exact path testing. I think the last meeting I explained what the exact path was, the diagnostic assessment for all the subject areas. And we began intervention groups this week. So those are up and rolling. We are also using a new assessment system called Running Records, and it's just giving us more data to better support students' reading development. Another thing that we have coming up, we're developing a family and community engagement committee. So we'll work together to plan all of our engagement events for the year, including open house, which is on October 9th.
Great, thank you.
I'll
Well,
go next.
I was gonna say, we only have two principals
I
left,
know,
so.
I just went before, Sonata, though, because they mentioned a lot of the things. I would say this is probably in 5 years has been a smoothest start to the school year. I think that's, obviously a testament to our staff. They show up every day with a willingness to work so hard and a dedication, to just do the best that we can do for our kids. I think it's, our kids show up every single day. They're eager. I know I've said this before, but it's, they try to run into the building because they're so excited to be there. Every once in a while, we get a few friends that need a little support, but for the most part, they're happy to be there and, know that they're loved and we want to continue to grow their brains and keep them safe. But also I think to our families, we have great partnerships with our families and we continue to strive to grow that. And our leadership team, I think we're a very strong team. I think, there's been a lot of presence in the building. And, visibility, we're in classrooms, staff are getting used to that. We're increasing just the presence in the building and people getting used to that. But it's, from transportation to the hallways are squeaky clean. By the end of the day, sometimes but the maintenance crew's doing a great job, HR as well. It's been a wonderful team effort. Also, I think we have some strong systems in place and platforms. So SharePoint, I know has been critical. Mrs. Rute has worked diligently on SharePoint and making sure that everything is accessible for our staff so that they have what they need to do their best work with our kids. And also, and I won't steal your thunder here, but Mrs. Rute has worked out common planning time, which she's going to speak to in just a minute. So we have that mechanism to make sure that we're keeping lines of communication open with staff throughout the year. So we're lifting a lot of those structures to, support our staff and doing great work with kids. There's a lot of other things. We are preparing for after school programming as well. So we will have Junior Warrior enrichment programming, working on a lot of foundational skills, exploratory skills, and then Power Hour as well, where we're focusing on more of those discrete academic skills. So that'll start next week, collaborating again with lots of departments and families, and I'll keep going. So I'm gonna stop there, but lots of great things. It's been a great start to the school year.
Well, let me ask a question on that. How many different after-school programs are gonna be, or what'd you call it, Junior Warrior?
Junior Warrior, so that's where we have a club offering. So we have, typically it depends on enrollment, but we have at least 5 to 7 offerings that students will choose their first pick and then their second pick. So then depending on numbers, we finalize that and we run the clubs with the highest numbers. Girls on the Run we have. So that has started as well. After school, Seneca students join at Prospect for our Girls on the Run program. And then we have our Scouts program that will run 2 days a week as well. So growing programming over at Prospect as well. So we have 4 days out of the 5 days that we have after school programming, and always looking to continue to grow that as well.
Thank you.
All the things. And look at everybody here. This is so fun. Everybody's here. I spoke last time about common planning. This is an initiative that we have at Prospect where we're meeting with all departments. So all team
all grade levels are meeting with specific departments, special education, we have administration, interventionists, so there's really a common time for everyone to plan. Really meaningful conversations that have been impactful for student success. We have a building-wide positive reinforcement this year that we're really excited about. We got a trophy that we're handing out to all classrooms who are showing the character trait of the month. So this is respect. And we've handed it out twice, and the kids are so excited. Ethan, Tad, I think your son, Ethan, won this past week. I don't know if he told you. They're going nuts. They want this trophy, and it's been so much fun. We pass it out every Friday, and then they're on the announcements, and they get to walk around the hall with the trophy. It's been really fun. I'm gonna end there, but yeah, lots of fun things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tad, any comment on that?
No, there was no comment on that. So they will be when I get home.
And to add to that real quick, so one thing, so Seneca mentioned their morning announcements. We try to do video announcements every morning where we're modeling that for kids. And they really are taking the challenge very serious. So, we're modeling how to walk down the hallway and what respect looks like in the cafeteria and all those different spaces. So they're showing that. Yeah, they're super excited about the trophy.
That's awesome. Would you say this was the smoothest start in 5 years, you said?
Since I've been.
Yeah. Just real quick, when are we gonna kick off construction over there?
Great question. So, phase 1 and phase 2, which are going to run concurrently, are currently in the planning or schematic, design right now. In fact, our architect was there at Prospect to meet with the staff this afternoon to explain the overall process, show some of the diagrams of what we have right now. We anticipate receiving approval from the state around April, next April, and then that'll go out to bid, and we anticipate construction will start, next summer. So, the design piece and the approval piece is probably, like with any project, it's all the stuff that happens behind the scenes. A school project is just significantly more elaborate because we have to get the state's approval, and sometimes things get held up there, but we anticipate the project for Prospect going from 2026 to 2028, and the same thing for the transportation.
So we got a lot of time to plan for next year. That's it. All right. Thank you. All right. Marcy, what do you got for us?
We have consistently answered 200 help desk tickets each week since school started, and in fact, plus, yeah, I know, right? Plus the door that probably gets knocked on as much as every help desk ticket comes in, there's somebody knocking on the door, or the phone is ringing. We've been exceptionally busy this year. It's been good. It's been very good, but yeah, busy. Helping everybody, setting everything up, putting all programs in place for people to utilize electronically. SharePoint's coming along nicely. Everybody's engaged with it. Email has dramatically decreased. So if you don't see emails anymore, check SharePoint. Everything is on there, and you should log in as soon as you open a web browser. It should take you right to SharePoint, which there's all kinds of information. I'm exhausted. I'm very tired.
I have a question though, on the website. So under the staff directory, the staff emails don't show up anymore.
Oh, on the school website
Yes.
or on SharePoint?
No, on the school website.
Okay, so there's a reason for that, because it allows outside agencies, good or bad, to contact us. And I'm not gonna say that's always a positive thing. It's really and truly suggested that we don't have our emails visible outside. Because if somebody wants to get a hold of us in the staff directory, if they click on the email piece, it sends us email through that piece of it, which provides us a layer of protection. So I can say, example, we had fake Chad running around for a couple of seasons. So during appointments of all of our sports staff, somebody would go in and read board docs, which is available to anybody anywhere, and we're legally bound to provide that. They would go in, grab board docs, go through board docs, collect all the names of people that have been appointed to various sporting pieces, and then they created a fake Chad email, and they pulled their email addresses off the website, emailed people within district, and said, hey, I got 5 minutes for a meeting, give me a call. And put a fake phone number in, that was one of them, texted them, whatever, like there's a whole slew of different things. And we literally spent like 3 days running around the building each time we did appointments for sports.
Yeah.
So that was one example.
Are we
that
sure it was
very-
fake, Chad?
It was.
I wasn't requesting half of it.
No, yeah. But it's all a learning curve on how we're protecting people inside the district, and it's very evident when those emails come in that it says from Thrillshare. I usually get a screenshot of it going, is this safe? And I'm like, do you know this person that is emailing you? So just creating that sense of security for us to know who's contacting us, and how they're contacting us. And a lot of times that is family, community members looking for information from us, or for me, it's salespeople. Salespeople contact me a lot through Thrillshare, so that, it just puts a little extra buffer in there for me to stop and take a breath before I hit respond to them. So security.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Oh. Trying. I still can't stop people from clicking on weird stuff or, but we're trying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, much, Chad then, emails from Chad. Delete.
Hit delete, must be.
Yeah, we do now. Chad's filtered off.
Yeah.
Got his own.
Is it delete?
But it's like, the email, we use that one because it impacted so many, it probably impacted 60 people overall in district. So people can relate to that as being an event here. But when we teach them to hover over the name, because it just showed up Chad Bartosic, but if you hovered over it, it was Chad Bartosic 1357@gmail.com. And I said, Chad is not emailing you from his personal email.
Yeah.
So
Now, do you guys like have your staff trained to report that, or if like phishing or whatever?
yes, yeah, there's a training each year. We offer about an hour-long training at the beginning of each year that gives them that as one of the pieces to report phishing. My best suggestion, honestly, delete it.
Right.
Delete it.
Delete it.
If you don't know what it is, and I share with people, I'm like, you wanna watch me? Because I just go through and I just hit that little trash can. If I don't know you and I don't feel like doing that today, it's trash. Like, it's just not gonna stay in my inbox. And I know Dr. Bueller saves every email he's ever gotten. I'm surprised he doesn't have like a little photo album of his emails. But my inbox literally has 0 unread, because if I'm not gonna read it, I delete it. So.
And she puts out testing phishing.
Oh, I
emails.
do.
That's all I'm wondering.
So, yeah, all right, so
No,
we'll all get these, sample, whatever, it looks like, oh, this looks great. But it's always too good to be true,
Yeah.
so, it's a test, and if you respond to it, what, 2 times?
Yes, you get extra training.
Yes,
Yeah.
so if you
You're
fail their
rewarded with extra
test,
training.
you have to go to more training, right? So,
That's good to know.
I'm good, I report everything. There was one that was really good, I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks great.
Did those go directly to you, or who do those go?
I actually have a program that is set up, as part of our training program, and all the phishing goes there, and I can go through and look and see what's in there, and there have been some significant threats.
Yeah.
The threats I automatically take and send to Erie One, so that they can use them as examples of, things that are out there and are a danger to, the districts and stuff. But he has come running down to my office, you almost got me. He's very excited that he
Oh, yeah.
discovered it. I'm like, whoa, so good.
That explains why the rest of us don't get emails answered.
That's right.
It is.
If it's from Karen, if it's Karen, phishing. Phishing, spam alert, that's right.
I'm changing my email address.
That's why we don't get our emails either.
Yeah.
What about, so while we're on that subject, though, what about student email accounts?
So our K7, K6 are not allowed to send or receive email outside the district. So they're kind of in their own little bubble, and they don't use it very much. 7 through 12, we don't do, they should be receiving it as part of a computer class, like that internet safety piece. And I do believe, that is part of their typing class. I do believe there's a course that they do as part of curriculum that covers some of that. I wish we did more, honestly. I wish our kids came out of, came into our high school with full ability to type and understanding cybersecurity.
Yeah.
But it is an extra layer. And kids are a little bit more savvy than we are as adults. They really are. I talk to kids all the time and they're like, you realize that was AI, right? Like they talk to me like I have no clue. And I'm like, I know it was AI, but it was pretty good. Like, but they do, they will, I don't click on that kind of stuff. And honestly, I don't think our kids are online as much as they're online, but they're not in email as much as we think they are. I would love it if we engaged a little bit more in that, because that is a life skill. And it's never going away. I say that and it'll go away too. I think so.
We ain't going away anytime.
No, it's not. It's a staple, but we're working our way into all of that funness.
Well, thank you. What do you got for us, Josie?
We continue, over the course of last year, we've been working with IT on our SharePoint and creating a forms flow system. So it sets up flows. We've really stopped taking paper for appointments and such and working out some kinks with it, but everybody seems to be liking it. The print could be a little bit bigger. We're all getting older. But other than that, it seems I'm liking it. My staff is liking it, just to stop. Like when we have a last minute, like the personnel changes, we're just, clicking it through and Dr. Wheeler can see it and what's, I'm gonna run this over real quick, or I gotta scan this and email it to it. So that has been helpful. Learning it was a little bit of a curve, but we're all liking it. We just started working with Erie One this week. They're changing the platform that we're using for external applicants. Thankfully, because this one we currently use is pretty clunky and we get a lot of complaints for it. So we're starting to switch that over, and we continue to post group environments. And working through staffing and stuff.
What platform are you talking about?
Right now, we're on applicant tracker, we're moving to spring. We asked to do it the beginning of July, they're just not here.
Are you asking about SharePoint?
Yeah, I don't know if it's SharePoint or,
Yeah.
okay, SharePoint.
Yeah, that's where they built all the
Okay.
flows to
Gotcha.
SharePoint pages.
No, you're good. I was like, okay, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a tab at the top, so departments
Yep.
on SharePoint.
Yep.
And you should go see it. It's pretty slick, like human resources one.
So
Yeah,
keep up with you guys, keep evolving.
We do, we have,
That's great.
last time I talked about the time sheet on electronic, so all the forms, like if you're going for campus screening day. Direct, you want to change your direct deposit, all that can be done on SharePoint now, electronic signatures, which that helps a lot with things moving faster for us. It's very fast moving.
Yeah, streamline the process.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you. Who do we got left? What do you got for us?
We recently finished negotiations with the SASA unions, and that, always contact here for the board's consideration tonight. And then next up on union negotiations will be the teachers union starting in October. And then sometime after that, the CSU union.
That's it?
That's all I wanted to share. Would you like me to share more?
That wasn't even a minute's worth. Marcy took 15.
I did it. Some people.
Yeah, don't get it started.
All right, everything good over there though?
Very well.
Okay, well, thank you.
So from our office, I'll take the PPS part. So and I'll let Elizabeth take the CSE.
Okay.
Registration, we actually are at our highest registration that we have had. I've been pulling the data daily, and as of today, we are at 1,440 students for this year. So that is a phenomenal increase in number, and that's a testament to everyone, like everyone has said already. The help of all of the support staff, the help of the families, the help of the support staff, especially at SALC, working with our families there in the spring, getting everyone registered and in. We had all students registered and all addresses updated for transportation in Power School by the second week of school, which is a first. Normally, we're still working on those into October. So it was a great year this year. For UPK, we're down to 4 on the wait list. So we have our classes. I think we have 2 spots open that we're getting ready to fill right now. And it has been wonderful this year. We're looking at improvements and how we can use SharePoint to help that in the future for next year. So registration, that part is great. Our new clerk that's on the board agenda is wonderful. I want to give a shout out. After all the years in different positions that we've had. It was a great process. This year, we had over 20 applicants go through the process for this one position. So it was a wonderful process with the CFD office, with pre-screeners, first interviews, second interviews, and final interviews with activities for them to do. So we're excited to have Nate join us. For attendance, Mr. Brundage is not here tonight, but this, again, data-wise, over the past 3 years, we took a look at our first 10 days of data for chronic absenteeism, and we are down significantly in all of our buildings. That is an testament to Steve working with the counselors, the social workers, the support staff, the liaisons, the principals, the nurses, and the clerks. We, within the first week, had tackled any students that had missed 3 or more days, and it has been continual since then. So those numbers continue to go down, and we're excited to see what they look like after the first month, second month, and so on. Steve is starting to work on contracts with some of our students for different grade levels. And we're looking at other ways to pull in some new services through Power School. They did open up some new things that we can utilize, and Steve is getting trained on that right now. As far as data, level 1, which all of you don't realize what different levels we work in, but level 1 is the middle level. That's the level that we wait to open in September, because that's where we get the really pretty pictures and graphs from BOCES regarding our testing from the year before. That opened up about a week and a half ago with some great graphs. So I've been working with the coaches, with the principals, with some of the support staff on that, and pulling that information and then getting it in the hands of Nikki so she can share it with everyone at upcoming meetings. And just some of the reports and the way we can hopefully have a positive impact on our students, not only in our 3 through 8 testing and regions, but taking it all the way back down to kindergarten. I'm excited for folks.
Thank you.
All right, then from the special education office, all our new additional special classes are up and running at Prospect and Seneca. Mr. Parisi and myself are continuing to provide support to the new teachers and staff, as well as students in the classroom. We are going to be starting professional development on transitional planning up at the high school for the teachers up there, preparing students for life after high school. Continuing to support the building administration on instructional, behavioral, social, emotional procedures for both gen ed and special education students. And then we are currently working with the special education instructional coach Bonnie Wagner from BOCES, providing some co-teaching for our teachers, both gen ed and special education teachers across the district. Our coaches will be going with Mr. Parisi this Thursday to do some more training, so when Bonnie leaves us, they can continue to support them.
Thank you. Mr. Ryler has a presentation for us.
Thank you. Sorry, excuse me.
All right, did we catch everybody? All right, Chad, I see you taking notes up there. Do you have more for us?
All right.
Well, Kristen mentioned tackling students. Are they using proper form when they're doing the tackling?
We went over that. There's a technique, we want to make sure we're safe, both sides, right?
On my board.
Melissa's,
We have a great support staff within our hallway. So on those days that are stressful, I can say that moving all back in together in the wing has been wonderful. So thank you for allowing us to do that, because it's nice to smile and laugh.
How was this?
I got a question on that actually real quick too. So I had a conversation with a couple of the coaches actually at the youth level, Brian and Sean, about the plays in which they run. I think it's pistol formation, if I understand correctly. Is it true that like some of the plays they're starting to implement at a younger age is kind of correlates to what you guys are doing at a JV or modified JV varsity level? So when they get to those levels, they're more understanding of the plays, and hopefully by then, you know, have it kind of dialed in.
yeah, connecting the youth programs to the varsity programs is important in all sports and in all, you know, phases of our.
I just thought that was cool that when they told me that they made that correlation. I'm like, that's good then. So these kids are essentially learning, you know, high, you know, potent offenses and defenses that have been obviously proven successful over these last handful of years and even before that. So that made me happy to hear that, you know, from the Pee-wee midget level, they're learning plays that these guys are doing, you know, and so by the time they're there, you know, they're successful. That was cool. Sorry to interject.
No, I have a lot of respect for those guys down there and their support for the process.
Yep.
We don't get that in a lot of places.
Yeah, you gotta have the buy-in from everybody, and it starts You know, I mean, I coach flag, but I mean, we're not necessarily doing pistol, you know, formations, stuff like that, but it did surprise me and that made me happy to hear that, that they're doing that at the Pee Wee and midget.
It's great.
Shotgun formations, you know, everything, when I played, it was all under center, you know, so now these kids are doing shotgun and
Yeah.
formations and different spread offenses and stuff, so. Who do you, got this weekend as far as, the homecoming game, who do you guys play?
Faulkner, Casadega Valley, Maple.
Oh, okay, so it
Three
takes
separate
three of
Three
them,
games.
takes 3 of them to try to take us down, but it won't
We'll
happen.
need a whole nother board meeting.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Gotcha, yeah, thanks, Jed.
Yeah.
Christian, I gotta add, I was at the flag football game on Saturday and I was in the press box in Levon, I was laughing at you because you were trying to wrangle all the kids.
Oh, yeah.
They're playing in the water.
Oh,
and
yeah,
all kinds of
yeah,
stuff. Christian's
yeah.
like, get over here,
Yeah,
watch what's
yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
And we're just ignoring.
Yeah, especially, oh yeah, especially trying to wrangle, you know, well, some, 5 and 6 year olds, and then ever since we combined the Warriors and the Sabres, which is a whole nother, obviously, conversation in itself too, but that doubles the numbers. So now you're looking at 30+ kids that are 5, 6 years old, 7 years old, that are looking mom and dad in the stands and this and that, and like, they do a great job, but yeah, it is a lot of work, and I think that's why there's 7 of us, because we need more hands, all hands on deck when it comes
Why
to
do
these guys.
we have 2 teams?
Yeah, I know. Well, I think so this has just happened, I think, a couple of years ago now, Chad, right? Because the numbers were, starting to dwindle as far as the participation goes, you know, I mean, the Sabres or Warriors, you know, it varied by year, I'm sure, but, you know, anywhere from, I don't know, 15, kids, give or take, per team, some, maybe one would have 20 on an odd year, but I think, a couple of years ago, there was conversation as far as combining them to make sure we have good numbers. But now that we have each flag, Pee Wee and midgets each have those numbers, that's another challenge in itself as far as playing time and that's it's a good problem to have, it's great to see that the participation.
Warriors great, 2 different teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think, possibly if the numbers keep increasing, I think there'll probably be another conversation here in the near future as far as, some alternatives to make sure all the parents and the players are happy and they're getting playing time and, learning, but yeah, again, all good problems, but, we gotta figure out solutions.
Awesome. Okay, well, did we get through everyone? I think we got everybody. All right. So we'll move on now. We're gonna move on to the Board of Education message. We're gonna start to my right here with Mr. Dale Colton.
All right. I just want to thank all the staff for rolling out a nice smooth school year for our students. I was half expecting more issues with the cell phone policies, but everything I've heard has been positive. So thank you very much. Nice to see the students here again. It's been a few meetings since we've had any students here, so welcome back. Glad to see it finally rained last night. It's been so dry. I've actually been enjoying not mowing, but but the rain should keep things green and next month.
Keep those, the fairways.
The fairways especially. So that's all I had.
Great, thanks, sir. Brad?
I want to welcome everyone back, and I also want to let Lloyd know that, the highlight of my day is I get to watch him dance every morning. Dance their kids this week. And I also want to take the time to briefly address the situation from last month that brought negative attention to the district because of my actions. I have since personally apologized, and I can assure you that this is not something that I take lightly. In addition, I want to apologize to my colleagues and to the district. I take my role as a board member seriously, and I fully understand the expectations for code of conduct while holding office. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me personally, and I'll be glad to have a conversation.
Thank you, Brad. Oh, all right, Ted, you're up.
Just wanted to welcome everybody back. Last meeting I missed because I was getting a tour by my kid for the prospect picnic. It's kind of interesting that now that he's going to the first grade kindergarten, he didn't want to go to it, and we had to kind of drag him around to see everything. And then this year it's, well, let's go find your room. He's like, I already know where that's at. And then he takes us down and then he's giving us the tour. So good job on like, getting the kids settled in each year and everything there. And then just for the way the school week goes, like we said, it's amazing that it's, essentially 4 weeks into it. The weather's been beautiful. Everything seems to be fast paced this year. But it seemed overall, at least in my household with my child and everybody I've talked to, things have gone off to a pretty smooth start. I mean, there's always some little hiccups, but they've always worked through it. And just wanted to thank the staff and all that. I mean, as the kid learns at the beginning of the year, I would imagine it's the same on the staff where you keep coming back each year, but at the same time, that first day, you never know exactly what's gonna happen. And then the second day and you get into, everybody gets into a routine. So I think we're there. Just keep having fun and getting the kids to learn. Thanks.
Tracy?
Glad to hear that the school year has started off to a great start for so many departments, and staff and kids, just everybody across the board. Looking forward to a great year. I'm excited to check out the pickleball courts.
I've seen that.
And now that they're open, yeah. So I will be doing that soon. And looking forward to attending all of the events that I can. And I think that's it.
Thank you. Christian?
Before I just had a question too, because I was thinking about it earlier, we were talking about programming, and I was reflecting back to, I think it was last year when Christian, I walked in and he was doing the archery. And, I was just impressed by that. And I want to say that was part of the programming that you guys were talking about last year, right? I wonder, I'm obviously now a middle school parent, so I'm adjusting to that as well. I'm wondering what the middle school, are we continuing that programming on, or how do we make sure that those, you know what I mean? We keep following through with those skill sets and things and programs we're learning, I guess.
Yes, we do have our trade coming out.
Nice, yeah, that's good then, and that's kind of what I was gonna talk about too, it's great to, again, first and foremost, it's good to see everyone tonight, it's good to see the students here, it's good to see my brother Carlton, see Pup here, good to see you, buddy, thanks for coming. I'm really proud of you, and, but I'm proud of the staff as well as all the collaborative efforts going on between each department. I mean, obviously it takes, all hands on deck to keep things going the way it is, and we're on the rise here, everyone knows everyone's always talking about our district, whether it's our facilities or our teachers or our staff and our academics. We're doing a great job, and it all because of you guys. So I just can't thank you guys enough. What else was there? On Power School, who oversees that? Is that Levi, or are you mentioning it? Like, as far as the updates on Power School, I was wondering about when do we start to see when will the grades and stuff start to being put on there, and then how often do we the news feed, because I'm just curious who oversees Power School there.
Sure. So Levi is probably our go-to point person. Grades are gonna be dependent on teachers, of when those go in. Next month, during our presentation board meeting, we're gonna have a presentation on Power Hub, which is the student or the parent and student facing portion of Power School. And there's been some pretty significant upgrades to that, including sort of an AI interface where you can just ask it what you want to know about your student, and it'll give you basically a report card at that moment. So it's pretty powerful, and we're pretty excited about it. And next month we'll be able to see that in full display here.
I forgot I reached out to Mark separately.
That's right, no worries.
So I was at the Bills game. I was fortunate enough to be able to attend the Bills game this past week, and we were sitting with my son sitting next to a kid that goes to a different district out in the Lewiston area. I don't know the exact school, but he was showing my kid his grades and this and that, and I'm like, dang, already, and it got me thinking, so that's what got me texting you, which had me dive back into the app. And I was actually we were at youth games over the weekend, and I was getting because Levi, he has been a great help, I will say that too. He got me all set up and stuff, but I really finally dove into it and got all set up for my 3 kids. And it does seem like it's going to be a great resource. I did know that there was a couple of parents I talked to that maybe had a little bit of I guess you can call it troubleshooting problems, or maybe loading, just things weren't, I don't know, they were having a hard time logging in.
Sure.
But I did get some advice from a couple of them, and actually one of which that helped me, because I was having a hard time myself logging in. And here I am texting Levi, he's up there trying to commentate the game, and I'm like, hey, how do I log in here? But no, it seems like a great service, it's, or a great program, and it's a great benefit, and I'm excited to see all that it can do and have live updates, you know, like you're saying. So I'm excited for that PowerPoint, for that presentation next month. So I'm kind of all over the place, but yeah, that's, yeah, it's good. So, I think that's all I had really written down as far as just questions or comments. So thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Always coming prepared.
I'm
Try to
trying.
shoot from the hip.
Try.
All right, thank you, everybody. As always, I want to thank our staff for everything you guys do, for getting us off to a great year. It's exciting. I'm always excited when we're back in school, back in session. It's awesome. My wife thinks otherwise sometimes, but she comes around. Yeah, so thank you guys for everything you do. The positive attitudes, and even tonight for all the feedback, you know, it's appreciated. I know sometimes it's just same thing, shoot from the hip, let's hear what you guys have to say. But we don't always get that, and we don't always get to hear from you guys, so I do appreciate it, and I'm sure my colleagues appreciate it as well. Just that quick little glimpse and snapshot into your daily lives here, you know, you're taking care of our most precious resources here. So I think it's important that we hear from you guys. So next time, let's try more than 30 seconds, Mike. Let's try to match Lucy's 15 minutes.
35 seconds next month.
35 seconds, all right, we'll take it. But yeah, thank you guys.
We can't keep up with Mark.
All right. Thanks, guys. I do want to say I appreciate Brad Early's comments tonight. That shows a little bit of fortitude. It shows that he's an honorable person to publicly apologize for an incident. Some of you might not even know what it's about, but I thank you for doing that, and I respect that. So thank you, Brad. Another thing I just wanted to mention, it was kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, somebody's like looking to fill a position. So we had a discussion and we were talking about it, and I'm sure all of you know, or if you haven't heard, you know, Janet's leaving us, she's retiring. And we're gonna go through a process to fill her shoes, which is gonna be a monumental task. I said it last time, I'll say it again, we're gonna miss you. You know, just over 10 years ago, I was sworn in as a board member on my first term. And Janet was there swearing me in 10 years ago. So next year, when we have new board members coming to swear in for the first time in just a little over a decade, it's gonna be somebody new swearing them in. So just letting you know that we appreciate everything you've done for us. Thank you. Thank you. Couple other things, a lot of great conversation tonight. A lot of things just kind of pop up in the mind. You know, we talk about sports. Obviously, when we get back to school, that seems to be the focus. What's going on with the fall sports programs? What are the kids up to? You know, we heard a lot about what's going on in the buildings from the principals. You know, academics is always important. It's one of those things, you know, you're a student athlete, you know, when we talk sports, you know, student, that comes first. So that's important. So everybody who's listening, you know, we do talk a lot about athletics. It's kind of that extra thing, because we always assume that the student part is being taken care of. It goes unsaid, but we still expect it to be taken care of. And honestly, if we don't hear any problems, we assume everything's going well. So it's kind of one of those things that we don't talk about too often, but it's there and we recognize it and we appreciate it. Sports, I'll even jump in on the conversation. Many of you know I run our club girls lacrosse program. I started Ohio Storm Girls Lacrosse 6 years ago now. We've had a great following, and just these past 2 weekends, we've taken our younger girls to 2 tournaments in a row. We went up to Niagara 2 weeks ago, and then Sunday we were in Lancaster for tournaments. It was great. It's getting those girls exposed to the game of lacrosse, and hopefully they'll start to progress all the way through their high school career. To your point earlier, Christian, talking about, you know, developing the youth programs to get to that varsity level. Well, we're fortunate. I mean, honestly, it's actually my fault. I started the program, but I also coach on the varsity side, so I have to do the same kind of programming. But it's not all just me, and that goes into what everybody else does here. A lot of people don't understand that, you know, even though you're a staff in the building and you're here, you know, supposed to be here through your school hours, we have a lot of staff who do a lot of extra things. And I give a lot of credit to my friend, Jesse Moore. He's a teacher over in the middle school. He's been there for a few years, but he also volunteers for just about anything and everything he possibly can. And I appreciate that he does that. I wasn't able to be at these tournaments for our girls lacrosse, but Jesse was there. Hands down, every time I ever ask him, he's there. He's one of them teachers who just gives his all. It's a volunteer thing. It's a club program, and he's still there all day long at a tournament because it's for the kids, it's for the girls. But on the other side of it, he's also our head lacrosse coach for the varsity program for the girls. So it is, it's building a system, starting at a young age, going all the way up to varsity. And I appreciate that he does that. Another one, you touched on archery. Well, Jesse's actually the archery coach too.
And
So
he's-
he'll be starting that soon too.
And I'll say, real quick, he seems to be a student favorite as well. So when I was Christian Fundamentals teacher, he didn't get Jesse, but he was really open, and we went down there. It seemed like all the students loved him. So he's obviously doing something right. They all are, but
Yeah. He has a great connection with the kids.
that's awesome. That's good to know then. I didn't know that.
So and again, it's a shout out to him. He's just one of the staff of many who go above and beyond and do everything for these kids without asking for anything in return. And that's awesome. I even see it in my own house. My wife, she's always above and beyond. She's involved in a lot of different extracurriculars, and it's all for the kids. You know, so there's a lot that we do, a lot of us, we all do to stay involved and to help this district move forward. And it doesn't go unnoticed. Those are just two specific people that are close to me that I see regularly who are going above and beyond. But there's so many more out there that do the same thing. So if you're one of those folks, keep it up. It's appreciated. We appreciate you. That's all I had to read.
You're one of those guys, Gary.
I just don't know how to stop.
Well,
All right, Dr. Beeler.
Well, a lot has been said, just a couple updates. Next, board meeting, we're gonna have to shuffle down a little bit because we will be having a student board member who will be joining us. Yes, so that'll be Owen Chronic, his sisters, there we go, in the audience today. So, we had talked about this a couple of years, but really didn't get too many students who were sort of fired up or interested. But now there's actually a requirement this year. So we talked with the student government and they identified an individual who will be on our board. So we'll go through what the guidelines are for that, make sure we're all on the same page with that. He'll have some training before he actually starts, but it'll be nice to have a new face at the table.
All right. So we all get pushed down that way?
Probably, yeah. And then just a couple of thank yous. Yeah. We had two relatively significant events that occurred over the past 2 weeks that consumed a significant amount of resources for our staff. One of them was, well, they both dealt with students, but one involved Ray Haley. He's not here because he's ill, but I just wanted to acknowledge him. There's a whole team of folks who worked on that, and the outcome was very favorable. And the parents are appreciative of where we ended up, and things turned out exceptionally well with regard to that. And the other was one that involved our IT department and Marcy, and I wanted to just acknowledge that, you know, there are things that happen sometimes behind the scenes that take a significant amount of time and energy to track down, and it needs to be done timely. And between Ray Haley with the one event and Marcy Brown leading the charge on the other one, both were resolved in a very positive and favorable way without disruption to the school day, which is terrific. So thank you to those two. All right, that's all I got.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, that wasn't long enough.
No.
You guys gotta practice a little
We'll
more.
get more out.
Yeah.
Well, you don't hear from us. We got all these good people out here.
I forgot one thing too I wanted to highlight too, is that.
Okay, you can take Teresa's turn.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Good. This is a good one for her. On this coming up Friday, September 26th, the Seneca Nation is hosting the Indigenous Youth Council, led by Michelle Red-Eye and Jacob Hager, to go over an introduction of how our government operates and the roles that it supports, or the role that supports it. And there's a whole agenda. It seems like they're gonna be there from morning to the early afternoon. So I'm excited about that, to have the Indigenous Youth Council and members from the district come over to the nation and see a little bit about what we do, you know, what goes on behind the scenes in the nation and just some ins and outs of that. So I wanted to highlight that. And That's, so excited about that.
Very good.
They're doing good
Yours
work.
truly gets to lead the tour.
Yeah, sounds good, sounds good, sounds good.
You know what, actually, we're talking about events, Chad, can you tell us a little bit about the Creators Cup coming to Vets Park? Are you versed in that or no?
I'm fairly well versed on the times. I don't have the specific schools. I don't know if they have them down yet. I know a couple of them. Saturday, October 11th, from 1 to 5 will be a clinic, I believe, open to the public, using Vets Park as a place for our students to come in and get coached up. That's the part. I don't know how many of the teams are going to be there for that. Then on Sunday should be a full slate of Division I lacrosse at both facilities, Vets and the turf field, starting at 11 and 1:30. You know the teams?
It's University of Albany, Sacred Heart, I think Michigan, and the fourth one is, I'm drawing a blank on.
That's right. They were
Richmond? See Richmond already?
Richmond?
I thought it was Richmond.
Yeah. But four college programs are coming to Salamanca to play some exhibition lacrosse for the community. So that's gonna be a pretty awesome event.
That's huge.
And
we're working on logistics, but it's coming together. It's gonna be pretty cool.
we're gonna be playing on our state-of-the-art brand new facilities.
That's it.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
We gotta talk about something though. I got an email from a parent from Michigan, wondering about tailgating, so.
Tailgating?
Keep our eyes open.
High school property? Tell them I have to go across the road.
Yeah. We got the big wheel over there in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Shuttle back and forth.
Actually, in Ohio, tailgating at high school football games.
Really?
But I do believe, we have a board meeting on the 7th. That's weeks.
After.
Anyway. I'll be set up. Be pretty cool.
It's coming up
We
quick.
can have a special meeting. and talk about it.
Let me know.
There we go. All right. Tomorrow.
It's coming up, it's gonna come up quick.
Well, it'll be here before you know
Yep. And our facilities, I wonder about our turf too with them, a lot of schools coming, if we'll have to put anything down on the.
Yeah, I'm really just being told about this, so Chad.
Well, I mean, yeah. Sorry, I didn't
See,
mean to-
that's why we have these meetings.
But, yeah.
for everybody to talk. to
It's
each
good
other.
dialogue, good to have
We might
conversation.
have to find another set of net field fans too, so.
But, that's not, lacrosse, that's not.
Not sure if we got another new set for the backfield yet. Can't remember if we ordered a
Oh,
set
okay.
for that or not.
Oh, because we're gonna be utilizing that field, not this field.
The four that are over there in
Oh,
decent shape,
okay, yeah.
maybe just new nets. The netting itself.
Yeah, I might have to give some, that's why, yeah, we need to talk.
Oh.
You're in trouble, Trina.
Hey, it's all good.
All right.
We'll get through this
Well,
together. We're good.
Can I get a motion to adjourn? We've discussed everything.
All
right. Anything else? Anybody? Anything else?
Good conversation. Good report.
Evan? All right.
Let's start the meeting.
Karen said we gotta start the meeting now. She's tapping her watch
No,
over
I
there.
just said the actual board meeting's like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, let's get going.
All right. Item number 4, consent agenda. We have our Board of Education meeting minutes from August 26th. We have our financial items, which Karen's gonna go over into immense depth and tell us everything about them.
Absolutely.
And we have our travel conference and overnight trips where we have the Cedar Point trip for what's that group? Or what's the group for Cedar Point? Class of 26 trip to Cedar Point. We have AASL conference for Polly Hansen. We have a college visit to Pitt Bragg for Carolyn Peterson, Kristen Greenstein, and 20 students. I didn't need this larger. Who was talking about not being able to see earlier?
It's real large for you. The print on your one is real large, if that helps you.
Oh, I zoomed it in. We got a trip to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Travis Happel, Rebecca Nannon, and 20 students. We've got a conference, I think Dr. Beeler was telling us about this at the beginning, Ignite Reading Convene 2025 for Nicole Beaver. We have our NCTE conference for Alexis Russer. And then we have National Farm to Cafeteria Conference, Mr. John Whaley. We have Katie Snyder, Cheryl Johnson going to Future of Education Technology Conference in Orlando, Florida. And then we have Levi going to Power School University.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep, and then we have our CSE recommendations, our CPSE recommendations. And can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Brad, second by Dale. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? All right, motion carries. Item number 5, old business, we have nothing. Item number 6, new business, we have declared surplus. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the following textbooks and items be declared surplus and be disposed of accordingly be approved. 1 through 14. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the attached list of library books be declared surplus and be properly disposed of be approved.
Motion.
Motion by Dale.
Second.
Second by Tracy. Are there any questions?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained?
All
right, motion carries. Sorry, what happened? What happened?
I think what happened, to clarify, is the first part was textbooks, there was 4 of them. Then there was.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
14.
I'm sorry. Yep, I did read that wrong. So the declare surplus was 1 through 4, and then be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the following items be declared surplus and be disposed of accordingly. And that was the 1 through 14. Yes.
We're all good. But I didn't hear, did you take the vote?
Yes.
So
All in
6 in
favor?
favor?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, we have our item B, transportation contract, C5078. And I'll read this one. Resolution of the Salamanca City Central School, Salamanca City School District Board of Education approving contracts for special education student transportation services. Whereas the Salamanca City School District is responsible for providing a free appropriate public education for all students with disabilities, including providing transportation services as specified in their individualized education programs. And whereas a request for bid was issued and a competitive bidding process was conducted for specialized transportation services to meet the unique needs of special education students for the summer of 2025, including transportation for students requiring specific accommodations such as aids, specialized equipment, or specialized vehicles. And whereas the proposed contracts C5078 with Bosis, Cattaraugus, Allegheny, Erie, Wyoming have been reviewed by district administration and are found to be in the best interest of the district and the special education students. And whereas the contracts ensure compliance with all applicable federal, state, and local laws and regulations governing student transportation and special education. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Education of the Salamanca City School District as follows. 1, the Board of Education hereby approves the transportation contracts with Bosis, Cattaraugus, Allegheny, Erie, Wyoming for specialized transportation services for special education students for the summer 2025. 2, the superintendent or their designee is authorized to finalize and execute the contracts and any related documents necessary to implement the transportation services. 3, the superintendent or their designee is further authorized to make minor adjustments to the contracts, including route assignments as necessary to ensure efficient and effective transportation of special education students, subject to the terms of the bid and contracts.
Motion.
Motion by Christian.
Second.
By Brad. Second by Brad. Are there any questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? Okay, motion carried. All right. Item C, transportation contract, C5086 and C5087, and I'm not gonna read this one this time. So this motion is to approve the contracts, for BOCES, oh wait, yes, Cattaraugus, Allegheny, Erie, Wyoming again. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Dale.
Second.
Second by Tad. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, any abstained? All right, motion carried. Item D, we are creating positions. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent and as a result of changes within the district, the following positions be created effective September 1, 25 through June 30, 26. Number one, a STEP program liaison. Number two, a STEP program advisor. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Tracy,
Second.
second by Christian. Are there any questions? Dr. Mueller, give us a quick rundown.
Sure, so these are two, we have been participating in the STEP program, which is to encourage students who are typically not represented in science and technology to participate a little bit more. We've been running that STEP program for decades. And we are fortunate to be recipients and capable of doing that again through a grant. And these two positions will allow us to have a liaison who typically interfaces with the college and an advisor who works with the students at the school.
Get a motion in a second, right?
Yes, Tracy and Christian.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstained? All right, motion carried. All right, item E, change orders and allowance disbursements. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby approves the following change orders and allowance distributions. Change order, phase 4, MCO1, AW Farrell and Son Incorporated, deduct of $6,530. Allowance distributions, phase 4, P4ECO3, Alstrom Schaefer Electric Corp. For $3,114. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Brad,
Second.
second by Ted. Any questions?
I just wonder if you could have Dr. give us an update on it.
Sure. The allowance distribution for Alstrom Schaefer Electric, we have one of the rooms in the new addition. We're sort of going back and forth with the mechanical company that designed and installed the heating cooling. It does not have sufficient heating, particularly in winter. So this is to cover the cost of installation of the electric heater. And then, am I correct in saying that this is going to be picked up by the architect? Okay.
That's not what this is for. This is the payout of the remaining allowance that they have on the contract.
The Alstrom Schaefer?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking at, yes, Alstrom Schaefer. That is for the heater in the.
Right. And then is LaBelle picking that up? Isn't that coming back to us?
They're reducing their.
Right.
Yep.
So, it'll be a net cost of zero to us.
Okay.
But this is just how we're getting it done.
Okay.
And then the other is, as she said, essentially unexpended funds so that negative is good for us.
Yep.
So that's money coming back to us. that wasn't
It's
expended.
always good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Like it. Okay. We had a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, any abstained? Motion carried. All right, we're on to item F, the SASSA contract. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent and following the SASSA ratification of such proposal, now therefore be it resolved that the agreement between the superintendent of schools of the Salamanca City Central School District and the city of Salamanca, New York, and the Salamanca Administrative and Supervisory Association for a new 5-year contract effective July 1, 25 through June 30, 2030, be approved to the extent required by law, and that the superintendent of schools be hereby authorized and directed to execute same on behalf of the district, be approved.
Motion.
Motion by Christian,
Second.
second by Dale. Any questions? Dr. Beeler, give us a rundown.
Sure. So this is the typical collective bargaining agreement that usually runs for a 3 or 5 year time span. The school administrators are represented, some of the school administrators, also the supervisors are represented by this unit. Their contract expired on June 30th. And I wanted to just make it crystal clear and extend my appreciation and gratitude to the Administrators Association. There were some significant changes coming through our BOCES with regard to, through our health consortium. And I had anticipated that we would have been able to include those changes in this contract, which is why, and it's really the only reason that it got delayed. We wanted that to be a model moving forward. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the information in a consistent enough manner from the health consortium over where we're headed. So that delayed the process. We have a language in the contract, and in about a year, once that gets hammered out, we'll revisit the health insurance portion for the SASA unit. But this really is just an extension for the most part. A couple things were added on both sides that we were looking for, but the entire process went very smoothly. It was not contentious. Sometimes when we look at a contract that doesn't get settled prior to the end date, there's underlying causes. The only reason that this didn't happen is because we were hoping to come up with a model moving forward for the entire district. So I just wanted to extend my gratitude to the Administrators Association for their patience and to Mr. Finn for his assistance in leading the negotiation.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions, comment? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstained? Okay, motion carried. Okay, item G, Board of Education goals 2025, 2026. Here resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, Board of Education goals for the 25-26 school year as follows be adopted. Make students smarter, improve student reading on grade level by 10% annually. Develop and implement personalized learning plans, improve tier 1 instruction and MTSS. Under improved attendance, provide support for students and families with attendance concerns. Reduce chronic absence and at risk of chronic absence rates by 10% annually. And create a culture of trust. Implement the family engagement plan. Increase opportunities for staff and student leadership within the school district. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Tracy.
Second.
Second by Brad. Any questions, comment?
Well, I just like the increase opportunities for staff and student leadership, and I thought it was good that we, we're having the student board member. And I was gonna ask, I didn't quite get that name earlier.
Owen Kranick.
Owen Krennic?
Yeah.
Excited about it. Nope, I'm all good, thank you.
Any comment?
These are basically the same goals that we've had for the past 2 years. And we talked about this at our board retreat, I believe, and it doesn't really get much more essential than making kids smarter, getting them here, and having a culture of trust. Our impact plans that are built at the building levels and department levels really dig into this and then with operational goals. But the board setting these particular goals and being consistent from year to year allows us to really be able to evaluate where we are and set more specific achievable goals at a building and department level. And I think it's really enabling us to move forward in a positive direction.
I agree. Might sound simple on the surface, but when you unpack it, there's a lot here. And I thank you all for doing everything you can to help us achieve these goals for this calendar year.
Second that.
Anything else? Anybody? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstained? Okay, motion carried. All right, item number 7, personnel consent agenda. We have the A personnel action with a long list of folks on the list. So can I get a motion to approve the personnel action item A? Motion. Motion
Second.
by Tad,
Second.
second by Christian. Any questions? Anything you want to highlight?
No, I just wanted to mention, several of the administrators, when they spoke, acknowledged the work that HR puts in, and behind each one of these names that you see here are a mound of paperwork and hours of work that goes into not just the hiring, but also transportation, appointments, substitutes, which has been something we've been lacking, but between Finn and Mrs. Hubbard, we've really been able to increase the number of substitutes that we have. You see the volunteers, the coaching appointments and mentoring appointments that are down below there as well. I just wanted to draw our attention because sometimes, well, sometimes, maybe not in this case, we take pride in people coming back. But we're gonna have Mr. Morton, Rich Morton will be coming back, yes.
Nice.
And Mr. Siebert, Chris Siebert. So our former athletic director and high school principal will be once again haunting the halls as security guards. So what better way to stay connected to the kids and help with the community? So I was joking, but we really are proud to see them come back.
I was hoping you were gonna highlight that. If you didn't, I was gonna.
Oh, yeah.
I see that.
Two juggernauts returning to the district.
Yeah.
I know I would.
All right.
Look out.
All right, anything else, anybody? Okay, we got first and a second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed, any abstained? Okay, motion carried. Is there any introductions?
I don't see anyone, well, I know there's no one here, but we will make sure we give them our traditional warrior welcome when they get here.
All right, so item 8, we have our board information, reports and discussion. We have a capital project summary, phase 4 summary. We have our report on the health and wellness fair. We have our Indigenous Education Committee meeting minutes, and we have upcoming events. Where is it? Our next Board of Education meeting is on October 14th, and then again on October 28th. So I'm sure everybody's excited for the next board meeting to come here and see all the action. So we expect to see you all here next time. And that's it. Take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Dale, second by Christian. Any comments, questions?
That was a good meeting.
I think so. That was a good meeting.
Aye.
What's that?
All in favor.
Not, to not adjourn, is that what you said?
I mean, might as well. We're having such a good meeting.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstained? Hey, we are adjourned. 6:57. Thank you all for coming. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Gary.